Hello and very good evening to everyone from different parts of the world. So I think my name is Kim Lim and I'm from the University of Newcastle and I am very happy to be the moderator of today's event. So today's event is called Maintaining a Healthy Mindset, Building Resiliency in Uncertainty. So this event is organized by the Southeast Asia Research Academy, Emerald Publishing, and supported by the Health Department in Thailand, the National Institute of Development Administration, and the University of Newcastle, Australia. So to start off today's event, I think it is only right of me to introduce a little bit about Sierra and what does Sierra do. Now, in fact, Sierra is a ground up initiative. Now, it is a ground up initiative where basically a group of young people with the passion of wanting to bring scholars in the Southeast Asia together. So this group of people form a grassroots activity or the grassroots team, which we call the Southeast Asia Research Academy. So at the end of the day, what is it about? It is really about creating a network, creating a support system, and creating potential collaborations between the different scholars in the Southeast Asia region. And we've been doing it really well because we have run a couple of seminars, and this is one of them. But before that, we have run seminars involving tourism, sustainable development, and also involving in developing responsible youth leaders. So today is one of the seminars that we organize, and today's seminar, I believe that it will be really important to everyone. So to start today's seminar, and before I introduce our two very important speakers, I'm going to tell you two stories. And you tell me whether this story actually applies to you. So, story number one. You are in the middle of the work meeting and your child pops in, visible on the screen for all to see. There is just a moment to decide whether you will panic or remain calm. And you start to wonder how the people on the other side will react. Will they be welcoming? Will they be impatient? Will your child be demanding or understanding this time? Are you in the middle of making a complex point where you need to concentrate, or are you less central and can turn off your camera and hide your home view or your home life from view? Even if those you care for do not appear on the screen, they are parts of the hidden work that you are doing now. Juggling attention, juggling needs. As the pandemic disruption extends, you are all tiring of the novelty of words colliding over and over again. Story number two. The professional day starts earlier and earlier. You are reading emails in bed as soon as you wake up. As soon as you are at your desk, you are in back-to-back meetings. You join a planning meeting with your research team and then wrap up with a department meeting. Finally, you switch Zoom rooms to begin a 2-hour seminar evening class. Just like today. After a day of sitting in the same seat for the duration of a long-haul flight, moving from meeting to meeting is no more than just a click. For some people, it can be moving from countries to countries. You are not working to conceal your exhaustion on screen. You strain to signal your presence, your sincere care, and your attention. As another 11 to 12 hours days winds down, you sense that the ability to maintain positive mental health under such circumstances has become a new performance indicator for career success. So after these two stories, how many of the story applies to you? 1, both, or none? Whatever your answer is, the point is that in the future of work, this is how it's going to be. This is going to be the new reality that we are going to work in. But of course, for now, it is a little bit more complex because of the fact that we have the pandemic that is going on. And this pandemic has created even more complexity in our life, where we are worried, not just for ourselves, but worry for our friends, our relatives, and our family members who are staying with us. So that is why today's session is so important. Today's session is not about how to do a research paper. It's not about what to take note of when you want to publish in a good journal. Today's session is about how we can keep that positive spirit, how we can keep that optimism despite in times of uncertainty. So that is why the speakers we invited today are people who has been very experienced in doing this area of work. So let me introduce to you the keynote speaker for this evening, Dr. Terdsak. Dr. Terdsak is currently the director in the Bureau of Mental Health Academic Affairs. At the same time, he also lectures in NIDA and Hwa Chong University. He is a psychiatrist by training, and he got his medical doctor and certificate of psychiatry from Chulalongkorn University. For those that who is not sure, Chulalongkorn University is the most prestigious university in Thailand and a one which has a very long history. He is an expert in mental health, especially using motivational interviewing techniques in changing health behavior. In fact, during the COVID-19 pandemic, he has set up a resilience program for those that has been affected. Our second speaker is Associate Professor Anne. She's graduated from Queensland, UQ in Australia. She's currently working in NIDA, National Institute Department Administration, and she has working experience as a hotelier as well as an academic. So she has been conducting research in a lot of health related and positivity area, which includes wellness tourism, active aging, spa tourism, long distance running, destination image, street food tourism, and international retirement migration development. So I think for us tonight, it will be a very fruitful session. And I think both our speakers have spent a lot of effort to prepare their materials for this evening. So ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome our first speaker, Dr. Terdsak. So Dr. Terdsak, over to you.
Thank you so much, Kim. And good evening for everybody. Today, I prepare some of the information about mental health, especially how to build up some resilience for you, especially for the during COVID-19 pandemic time. And I think that what we all know that this pandemic affect us in all area. You can see that the lifestyle of children, especially students in the university, and for all in the work age, in community change, and this affect to both the physical and mental health. And I think that the topic today about the resilience and how to build up the mindset would be benefit for you all. And I will present some of the theory, the information of the system that we build up in Thailand, and also some skill that you may learn and will apply to your daily life. I will start with sharing the slide. Okay, I think that today the main topic is maintaining a healthy mindset, building resiliency in uncertainty, and I prefer to translate it into how to build positive mindset and to get positive outcome. This is a hard time for us to practice how to be positive, and for me too. Uh, it is hard to still positive in this time, but I think that we are all learn from our experience and to gain some growth, and I think that we are now prepared for next obstacle in the future. During pandemic, especially in the COVID-19 pandemic, now we are familiar with the word pandemic fatigue. It means that during this time, uh, nearly everyone feel less energy, a little bit depressed, and uh, not have motivation to do uh, anything or any job. This is some of the symptoms. But now, 2 weeks ago, we are talking about long-term COVID. I think that is the somehow the same symptom when compared to pandemic fatigue. Long-term COVID mean that people that infected with COVID-19 have some symptom, the physical symptom, for example, chronic cough, or maybe headache or muscle pain, and also mental health symptom too. For example, depressed, anxiety. So I think that this is uh, very complex, and sometimes we cannot divide it whether this condition is come from COVID-19 or from the effect of the pandemic, especially the economic crisis in this time. Today, I will focus for three main issues: the importance of how to be positive, some method or skill that we will share and to learn. In this slide, you can focus at the picture at the left side, and I would like our participant to see this picture and maybe answer in your mind that what you can see. Do you see, and you can see the picture in the square or the triangle? You can choose it, the square and the triangle. This is one of the mental health tests, very interesting. The researcher found that when people in crisis or have so many things to think or to worry, they will ask this question. They will see the square. The square means the little thing among the broad thing. And people that seem to be happier or not have too much thing to think, this group of people may answer they see the triangle. It means that they see the global view of the picture. How it is so important? When we think back into the ancient time, when people faced with wild animal or some dangerous thing, they must focus and see very little thing to solve and to escape from it. But today, the danger and the thing that we want to escape not so easy to identify. You cannot escape your boss. You cannot escape from your teacher, even you don't like him. And we cannot escape from COVID-19 too. When people see this picture or see the world and focus only small thing, they will find some bad thing easier. For example, when you talk to your parent and during the conversation, your parent may talk about maybe some bad thing that you do not want to hear. And you in the anxiety state, you have many things to think. So you see this event only small thing that your parent talk about bad thing and you don't like them. It means that you may easier to get more stressed, more depressed from this kind of visual processing. Compared to in a normal state, when you feel a little bit happier or nothing to worry, and your parent talk about your bad thing, you may think that not 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 an important thing that you may focus, and you may choose to focus to another thing to enjoy. This is the important thing of visual processing. When you use this picture to explain how people plan to suicide, in my experience, I found that people that plan to attempt suicide may have something that in the normal time, normal period, they wouldn't think that it is so big. But during the bad time, everything seemed to be problems. And they think that this problem that add into their life make their life much more suffer. Some people decide to attempt suicide because of money, allow $10,000, very small amount of money. In a normal period, normal time, they wouldn't do that. But during the stressful time, they may decide to attempt suicide. And this stress is very interesting because it brings into another process of the brain system. You can see the picture in the right side. The picture on the left side is one of the global local visual processing, as I explained about how we see the world. When we happy, we see the world in the big picture. And when we think too much, have several problems, we focus and we process in the local processing. For the live picture, the Merlick remote associate test. This test gives some words that not correlate with, but the participant should relate them into something that meaning for them. It means that when people in a suffer period or too much anxiety, they cannot process and cannot use their resources even they have. The different view of the world and different method to processing make some people in the bad time have bad decision. This is one of the example. Think about a meeting, an important meeting. You may present an important project, and most of the board members agree with you. Only some of them debate about how to implement and think about the possibility of this project to run in this period. You can see that in this event you have one event but different interpretation. The first one is nearly all of the board members agree with me, and the other one, some people not agree with me. And why? This is a good project. Why they cannot see that this is a good project that have to be done. When you in the stressful life have something to worry, just guess that you may see the first one or the second one. When you stress too much, you may forget some people that bother you, debate for the possibility. And this event give you more stressful life and maybe some something that you do not want to occur in the meeting. But if you have a calm or in the normal period, you may think in the big picture that, oh, most of them agree with me, so I may have to explain more about the step or the plan that you plan to do, and to get more understand from the member. This slide means that in the same event or the same environment, if you have good condition or positive mindset, you may interpret that event that occur is a good event. People that may not 100% nice to you, you may interpret that normal guy, nothing to concern. But if you let yourself collect stress day by day, you may easier to get some more stress from just very little thing. So you may interpret or explain this event into two sides. Most of the board members agree this is a good start. Let us operate some step. But if you focus only for some member that debate, you may think about why these people obstruct this best choice and maybe have less energy, less motivation to do this project. This is because of your mindset and how you interpret your event and your environment. The theory that explain how people see the same thing but interpret different things. There are so many theories about this. And I would like to show one of them, the broaden and build theory. In this theory, it explains that when you have positive emotion, you can broaden your mindset and can see the global view of the environment or the event. And if you let your emotion negative, you will focus only at the local thing. And most of them will be bad thing that you select to focus. This is the broaden and build theory. The broaden and build theory is the one that so important, and they explain how we see the world and selective attention to some event, some people, not explain for the whole picture. I would like to show some of the study that explain more about the mindset of the people that in this study we call non-study. It means that this study has been done in participants from the Catholic nuns. Several, I think that more than 50 years ago, Dr. Snowdon tried to study about how to prevent us from Alzheimer's disease. And they collect the data from nuns because nuns often set up in the place that and have less likely to change their place compared to the normal population. In this study, they collect the data of the daily activity of nuns. Nearly 1,000 nuns that participate in this study. And Dr. Snowdon found that the way to prevent Alzheimer's disease would be set up daily activity that promote activity of the brain. For example, reading, mathematics, analyzing data, or maybe just playing cards. This activity that regularly done can maintain the brain state and to decrease chance to be Alzheimer. So Dr. Sundon found the answer for the first question. To prevent Alzheimer, you have to do daily activity that promote your brain function. And Dr. Snowdon also found another more important thing. The nun in the study that decide to uh, live and give their life to the God and stay at Minnesota church. They all have to write some biography. One day, the researcher read this document that all the nun has like, and they found something in the message that the nun wrote. There are some words repetitively found in the nun that live longer, and there are 3 words. I would like to show you the 3 words. The happiness. Happiness maybe means something that good or make they smile or make they laugh. The second word, interest, maybe hobby, maybe some job that they like to do. The third one, love or relationship. Relationship maybe mean human to human, or maybe you and your dog or your cat, even your goldfish. This is relationship. The fourth one, hope. Hope is something like what you think about the future or your plan to do in the future. The researcher found that if none wrote about these 4 words, they will live 10 years longer than another one. To be live longer than another one for 10 years. I think that we are all want to live more. If 10 years, 10 years in a physical healthy, and you can travel to place that you would like to, not 10 years on your bed. When compared to the non-smoker, non-smoker live 10 years longer than smoker too. It means that the mindset can bring your life longer at the same strength as to be non-smoker. So this is one of the study show that the flow of emotion for healthy have so much evidence. And for some people that stop smoking, they will live 8 years longer than they still smoking. So this is the non-study. I have some video about the non-study, and I would like to share you. Okay, just a few seconds.
brain so that when the time comes, they can make a study of it. The fact that I have not had any of this Alzheimer's disease or even an inclination so far is something that they would naturally want to study or find reasons for being able to live without being, shall we say, attacked by
They are
Alzheimer's.
the participants that uh, be in this study, and most of them uh, die already. Up to now, from 1,000 participants, they only allow 1 or 200 that's still alive. And when they die, the researcher will make autopsy, and this room is the room for collect the brain of each nun that die, and the researcher will examine and study about nun's brain to see that whether they have suffered from Alzheimer or not, that compare to the activity before they die.
And then the first thing we do is we dissect out the blood vessels at the base of the brain. This is the circle of Willis. So we follow all these blood vessels. And then after you have enlargement of the ventricles.
Well, I
Okay,
think our
just for
sisters have
an example, you can search for this study in the internet by using the word non-study too. Okay. Just a second, please. Okay, I will continue my slide. Okay, some technical problem. Okay, from the non-study, I would summarize that when you try to stay positive, you may live longer, happier, and maybe have some more success. For another study, the stress and exciting, I would focus this sentence. When you face something, the problem or obstacle, and you feel stressed, you can see that you may explain or interpret it into two sides. The first one is stress, and the second one is exciting. stress means that we should get out of them. Exciting means that let's try some more. This is mental program or image. And the study found that we can choose whether to see something to be stressed or exciting. And if we choose to or decide to see this problem as exciting thing, you may have some more energy, some more motivation, and even more brain function. As I told about several study about this, and this is one of the study. Dr. Jeremy have done a study about stressful tasks. The researcher have their participant in the study, and they give the participant stressful task, public speaking. And the researcher have 3 instructions. The researcher told the participant into 3 ways, 3 groups. The first group talk about exciting, how to speak in the public and excite about it. Let's try or let's plan to do it. The second group, just speaking and try not to think about it. The third one, just stress, try so hard and think that maybe something that not good happen in the session of public speaking. And they collect data, especially blood pressure and cardiac output. And the researcher found that if the participant excited about public speaking, the blood pressure not too so high, and the cardiac output look good compared to the participant that stress to this task. They have more blood pressure, high blood pressure, and less cardiac output. So this study explain about the mindset that we see the event or the job, and we can plan to see this job, this event as an exciting thing. This way of mindset can enhance energy and the brain function, and to do things more efficient. Next study will explain about the efficiency of the mindset. I ready to pass to another one. This one. This study is enhanced human memory consolidation with post-learning stress. In this study, the researcher set up some events that make participants more stressed by putting their hand into the ice or very cold water. The cold water and the ice is a stressful experience. And the researcher talked to the participant into two ways. The first one is they try to make the participant to see that the submerging hand into the cold water is something very exciting. Let's see how long that you can do it. To see this event as an exciting thing. The second group, they talk about something that not so important. Maybe you may suffer from submerging your hand in the cold water, or maybe you may have get some pain or some abrasion. It means that the second group get information that this stressful event is not good, and they have to do it. After doing this event, submerging hand in the cold water, the researcher record how good they can remember the slide before and after submerging hand in the cold water. And they found that when the participant interpret that submerging hand in the cold water is very exciting, they will have good memory. And you can see that in the first bar, the black one, allows us to see that submerging hand in the ice, the cold water, not bring them problem, but can even make them more efficiency to remember the slide. It means that when you face with stressor or problem, and you see that this stressor or problem is very exciting, you may not so stressed, and you can build up your brain energy, and you can solve problem more efficiency. So this study is the very important that explain the law of our view that we see the world. And if we can select or choose how to see the world or the event that we face with, we can set up and get some more energy, more brain energy to solve their problem. This is the study of the learning and memory. I would like to back to the slide. to slide before. Okay. Uh, I think the time is running out. This is a study about mindset. Dr. Ariel Crum tried to study about the mindset of the housekeeper will bring their health healthier or not. In this study, Dr. Ariel Crum collect 84 hotel housekeeper that work in the hotel in the US and divide them into two groups. The first group of housekeeper, the researcher give them information about the how they work hard and they choose have time to do some more exercise and to take care for your health, because working hard means that they may have some health problem in the future. This is the first one. The second group, the researcher told the housekeepers that you work so hard and what you work today is a good exercise. It means that when you work, you exercise, and in the future, your physical health will be better. You can see that the two groups work at the same job, in the same or maybe equal activity. The difference was only the message or the information. This slide may be too small to focus, but I will explain about the outcome of the study. This study found that the second group of housekeepers that get good information about work and exercise, they have better blood pressure, decreased body mass index. It means that if you work hard and you see that you also exercise at the same time, you will get some more benefit. And if you see that you work and you solve many problems, and maybe if you are work in your university or study some curriculum, and you think that what you do will bring your life better in the future, you can build up or get some more brain energy to study or to face with the problem. Okay. All of the things that I talk about would be summarized into some system of mental health, and we call resilience. Resilience is a set of thinking emotion, and behavior. And we divide into the first one, the mindset or the endurance part. The second one, the relationship, the connectedness. And the third one, the skill that we learn and to manage the obstacle. In Thailand, we collect the data of the resilient portion as well as the mental health problem too. And we found that when people have less resilient, they get some more mental health problem. And we monitor this data week by week in Thailand to get this information and to let the that the policy maker or even the staff, the personnel to plan that. For example, in Bangkok, when we during this time we faced with the COVID-19 pandemic, and in Bangkok, the people, the vulnerable group, the people that lost their job, suffer from mental health problem. We try to help them, to help this group, both mental health capacity and occupational capacity to bring their life and to lessen the mental health problem. This slide shows the mental health check-in. Thai people that want to monitor their mental health may use QR code and to do the screening and to learn after that about what level their mental health have, and to learn in the self-learning program in the mental health check-in. Okay. Okay, let's see. I have. Okay. I think that I would like to talk a little bit about the relationship and the communication. This topic will be the last one. For communication, I focus at positive appraisal that bring us some improvement and some good outcome. In the past, there are some study about how we improve ourselves by focusing on positive things. In this study, the bowling study, the researcher collect some participants that can play bowling, and the researcher divide into two groups, divide the participants into two groups. The first one, the researcher let them get some feedback in a normal pattern. If the participant cannot play bowling correctly, they must be teach and talk about how to solve this skill problem. The second group, the researcher let them talk only the good thing that they can done, that they have done. So the climate of the first group seemed to be a chaos climate, and the second group, the climate or the 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 group, the talking in the group sounds so good. And after that, they collect the result of bowling. The researcher found that the group that talk about good things that they can do or they have done get better score from the bowling game. It means that if we want team or family or even yourself to improve and to solve problem, you must focus at positive communication, not focus so much with the bad thing or the wrong thing that you have done. And during the time of chaos, I would like to summarize that we may start with scheduling of good activity, and to good activity mean maybe some exercise, some meditation, or some gardening. And the second one is to calm down, maybe some mindfulness meditation, and you can see something different, maybe better thing. Okay, this slide summarizes the study and the recommendation that we can apply to our daily activity. The understanding about global local processing means that we have to focus something that positive and make us broader visual processing. We have to use good relationship with friends, family, and to bring this power translate into mental health and hope. For the third one, the positive appraisal and communication, focusing on good thing and communicate with the good thing. And this way of practice will bring some more energy for your team. Okay, this is the last slide. I would like to use the phrase that Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist during the World War II, liked in his famous book, Search for Meaning, Man Search for Meaning. He summarized many experiences from concentration camp that he had experienced during World War II. And I like this sentence. Those who have a why to live can bear with almost any harm. It means that if you live and have meaning to live, you have energy to face with many obstacles, and you will be win and live happier in the future. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Terdsak, for sharing your experience and your research. And I think every one of us have gained something from different perspective of what Dr. Terdsak is saying. So one of the things that I really learned from Dr. Terdsak's sharing is that we have to be positive. And in fact, when we talk about positivity, there is something that I like to share with you. If I can share my screen, Prof. N. Thank you. So one of the things that I really learned about positivity is from this gentleman that I'm sure all of you have heard of him before. His name is Martin Seligman. And Martin Seligman is actually the guy who coined the word positive psychology. And what Dr. Terdsak says about Viktor Frankl, and Viktor Frankl is the guy who says that humans always search for meaning. And it is this constant search for meaning that make us start to realize, why are we living in the first place? Why am I doing this job? Why am I doing things that is meaningful for me? It was started from Viktor Frankl. So for those that haven't got a chance to read the book called Flourish by Martin Seligman, please go. Who is Martin Seligman? He is a professor from Uni of Pennsylvania, and I'm sure all of us are very familiar about Angela Duckworth Grit. I'm sure you have seen the YouTube video by Angela Duckworth who spoke about grit. Angela Duckworth is a disciple of Martin Seligman. So get this book, read about it. It's very enlightening. And one thing I also got from Dr. Terdsak sharing is to focus on positivity. A lot of times when we come back from a day work, when we go through some event, our natural instinct is what goes wrong, correct? We will say, oh, today is a bad day because the Zoom didn't work. Today is the bad day because the food I eat was tasteless. Today is a bad day because it rains in the morning and I got wet. How many times did we focus on the things that went right? Today is a good day because I was punctual. Today is a good day because I learned something from Prof. Terdsak sharing. Today is a good day because I'm going to hear what Prof. N is going to speak about. And this is what Martin Seligman says. If we were to practice this, focusing on what is right, what is good for constant days, we ourselves will feel happier. And this is one of the key things I gathered from that book. So grab that book before it runs out. And now I'm going to invite a very good friend of mine, Prof. N. Prof. N, I think she is a fantastic lady. She's very into sports, as I introduced just now, very into wellness. So she's going to talk to you about how to maintain happy through exercising. So Prof. N, over to you.
Okay, thank you for the introductions. And actually, I listened to Dr. Terdsak, the end and conclusion that linked to my study. And actually, I think we understand the same contents, that at the end of our daily life, we have to focus on a positive. And actually, my research, it possibly answer to the recommendation of Dr. Terdsak. So thank you everyone for coming to listen to us today again. And I see many of you, have been with us before, and some of you come to join our group, Sierra. So basically, this group, we will talk all about research and about our academic life and our paper and something like that. And I think today a very, very great and public as well, as we need that. Today, what I will talk about is basically some of the project research that I have conducted with my PhD student. So initiative result that I will share to you today, and also some of the how we cope with the situation like now, so I will go through with you, beginning with maybe introduce a little bit of the theory foundation, and some of my study, and also the results, and then some tip that how we can cope with the situation now. And also, many of us is academic, many of us PhD student, and unfortunately that you deal with very hard with PhD study already, but you still have to cope with the COVID-19, stay at home and work from home. Many of you are lecturer, you have to teach, all semester online. I understand that. I also did myself. So let's have a look with some of the my study. That to support our Dr. Terdsak, that in our life, basically we need to have good mindset, mental. We need to have a relaxation. We have a good food, and we need to have body physical fitness as well. And back to the end of the day, no matter what you are, no matter what you do, work-life balance is always important. So, see some of my activities. I like to do some exercise. Basically, a lot of work to do, and I'm being academic, and also many of you as well. I have many PhD students, but I found that it's relaxing and work-life balance it to be just like positive, go out and do something totally different. So this is a basic need for our human life. So this study, I will show some of the results. They're talking about to investigate tourist intention to smart wellness tourism intent. Why this study is important? As like Dr. Terdsak said, we need to go out and have positive. We need to go out and be one of the person you are happy. Even though you are in the COVID-19, how can you make yourself happy? How can make yourself still smile? I've been kept in the house for over a month. And this study will help to create some of destination. Perhaps how can we make our habit, from look after ourselves, prevent ourselves, maintain our health, and then you going out, become develop in terms of fitness tourism, or many of you are going out, and how can you still be healthy and be working in the society? Believe me that the happiness is for any kind of work. So that this is a theory foundation, that we found. What is influence us to be jump into a healthy cycle, or what is a influence factor to make us to try to be health well-being person? So this study is basically, they said that we have a two route of the elaboration livelihood model. It's called one central route and another one is peripheral route. And how they direct aim to want to have well-being and wellness. And the other one is there are some kind of influencer or maybe celebrity, and those people are set a sample for those to be healthy. So basically that the central route is a logic driven, that what audience would like most to be influenced and to buy something or to do something, and they set a clear aim. However, the peripheral route is something that, you have someone or somebody doing something and it's popular, or maybe you see that they are good looking, so that you like to do that. So my study, it's talking about the participants who already jump in to be a wellness person. And I like to draw out their opinion, their benefit of being wellness, how then they cope with this emotion. So this study actually that we are working with my PhD student. So now he in the time of collect data, and then we are analyze some of the data today. And this is his model. It's ongoing. But tonight I will give you some of the results that what we are doing. So the person that we collect data actually come from the all age group, and some of them participate in the activities of wellness. And the activity wellness not only go to gym, there are 4 types of the activities to join the gym. The first is spa and beauty, massage. The second one is leisure and sport for health. And then spiritual tourism or spiritual retreat. And the last one is about healthy food. So my participant is, so far we have in that interview about 10 people, mainly age, between 35 and above. So they are bachelor degree and master degree, so basically these people have consciousness about doing a wellness activities. They're not only about conscious about gym or conscious about exercise, but they also consciousness about spiritual. You know, like Dr. Terdsak said that the most important thing that how can be called about going to my retreat. My participants, most of the activities that make them relax, make them have a happy life. You know, they go for the sport, leisure, they swim, they have some meditation, you know, for their spiritual, and then they go for the spa or the, so that I have two groups of this study, you know, a group above 50. Basically, they said, we want to go to join a wellness activity. We want to be healthy. They have some kind of physical problems. They have some kind of sickness, and they give them a symptom of, you know, that they're starting to be different from when they were young. And that main reason they're coming in. And another group is younger, they said, I come to join, I just want to be good looking, have fitness, and then of myself, and also I like to maintain my health wellness. So what the benefit and attribute they receive from these joining the wellness activities, you know, in terms of emotional wellness, they're satisfied with their life, you know, they have positive about themselves, they gain self-confidence, they're coping with anything in the society, you know, in the circumstances. And they said that, you know, around us that we have with the COVID-19, but they said they did not scare. I said, why don't you scare? Because if we know what we are doing, if we know what we're thinking, if we have a good mental health, and if we control ourselves, do something else in life, rather than be conscious about the situation that you have, you know. And the next thing that they said, you know, going to do some wellness activities, they like go to the same society and community. Social wellness is one of the most important attributes for make people to cope with the crisis and emotional or negative. You're going out and you talk with the people who have the same thing, the same thought, you know, so they look forward for that. When they said, for example, one of my participants said, every day I have to go to gym to enjoy the class, and after that have good laugh and fun with my friends, you know, they become good friends. We have go out and join together lunch sometime, you know. And some of them said that I all go join the meditation. She said she lost her mom. She totally lost. She said, I cannot deal with anything like that. And I asked her, how did you cope with that? She said, I decided to join meditation class, and she's a Buddhist. You know, she said, after that, it's healing me. Even every single day now, she still think of her mom, but she healing with, she going out and enjoy with the spiritual retreat to calm herself. And then she become a normal person and can deal with our daily life. And of course, in terms of the physical wellness, you know, they said, I improved myself a lot. And I feel very proud when the first 3 months I can see myself change. You know, one of the bridge, you know, across the road, I have to stop and pumping and tired. And after 3 to 6 months, she getting better, and then she enjoy with her physical improvement. She can wear the clothes nicer, and then she can, you know, her partner, her husband said he got a new wife back, you know, and she's so happy about that. She wants to bless the family proud of them. And one of them said that I used to have not sleep very well or not very deep sleep, but after enjoy with the class, exercise, walking, running, and bicycle, they totally change their emotion, and they totally change their wellness, mental wellness. So for example, they can manage their life better. They can make some work-life balance better. In fact, when they come to join in the community, you know, they have someone influence them to gain knowledge more about how to live, how to eat, how to exercise. And in terms of the central root, persuasion, wellness, life direct indirect way, So for example, the people said, I go to see a lot of the media and Facebook, and or maybe some celebrity, some those people who have influenced them, but in this study, influence them by celebrity or the person who show their physical appearance, their well-being, their positive thinking, not necessary to be the famous celebrity, because it's too far. When you see the people on the YouTube, they said, wow, they have six packs, look good looking, oh, she's beautiful, she have a very good figures, but they think that's too far for them. But they see that the people who nearby them and show some not perfect. You don't have to be perfect, because if you see the people weight 80 kilograms, and then you see the people so perfect and say, oh, it's too far for me to reach. But what they see that influence them, that the person who next to them at the environment of wellness, and then they are go along together. So, oh, that person, they're good, but they're not perfect. And it's possible for me too. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to have six pack, but I enjoy that. That at the gym, I for example, myself, I went to gym and I have my weight from 80 kilograms. If many of you maybe see my previous picture. And after that, I enjoy going there. And then I before that, I don't use trainer. And after that, I use trainer. And we have some of the, one of the picture on what you see here is one of the famous doctor in Thailand. She all joined the gym, so that we go together. And, this is something that it encourages each other. And after that, you feel proud of yourself, So I asked them another question, very, very important. Maybe you can use this for your motivation. I said, what motivates you to have a good wellness? How can you get out from the couch, after you teach all day? And I got a lot of questions from my students. So Ajahn Ann, Prof Ann, they said, you teach us, you be with PhD student. I'm associate professor and I'm doing my research and I write some of my paper and I have a family to look after. And how can you manage to go to gym? How can you manage to, at the evening, you see that? And I said, actually, I don't have time, but I manage the time to go because I know when I go there, I feel relaxed and I set my time, my short goal. So my participants said that they set a short-term goal, medium goal, and a long-term goal. For example, I will say to practice some exercise. So, basically when you say that something that you cannot do that, take a challenge. If something that you can't do that, you take a challenge, you try to do that, you try to achieve that. When you can do that, is the thing that easier for you to do in your lifetime. In terms of a long-term goal, maybe you change your habit. Some of you say, well, how can you change your habit? I eat all the time. I eat late night. I sitting there and read my paper. I'm so stressed. I have to eat. Many of you, the way out of you is eating. And I'm not arguing with that. I eat as well. But you know how to eat. You know what to eat. So that another thing that they said, if you stress or you feel emotion, you can't create your positive thinking. Be close with the person who are positive. Find the activity that you like. For example, you may be like hiking, you may be like swimming or whatever. For me, I like everything that is making me sweat. So the people who did the same group, I used to run a half marathon, 21 kilometers, So, and this kind of thing that give you a goal and then you forget it. When I have, sometimes I have work the place and so much I couldn't get, and I get rejected from the reviewer, many rejected and ask me upset. I'm upset about that. But hey, when I go to gym, that's my stress release. So reward yourself sometime. When you achieve something, the people are, oh, life like professor, like the people who are consciousness in health. Maybe you don't have happy life. You want to eat something, you can't eat that, you can't eat this. Actually, you know what? I eat everything. People at the gym eat everything. So they said they go there because they want to be able to eat everything. Change your mind, maybe. Change your mind that if you turn yourself into a wellness person, it doesn't mean that you have to leave out your chicken rice with skin or, some others, KFC or something like that. So next one, I asked them the constraint. what make you overcome? They said they're lazy. They said, well, if I'm lazy, I said, oh, I'm thinking about, hey, the hard work that I did, if I stop, maybe I have to start from zero again. They go. Most of my participants, you know what, more than 100%. After they join there, they said they never ever want to miss only even one, unless they have a problem with family, they have physical unfit, unwell, they have to, stop. And the most important thing is they said a time management, work-life balance. You don't give to all the work 100%, and then when you have not good health, you don't have time to use to spend your money. And that is come to that 10 discipline. I will be quickly. So the form initiative result that I have. So basically, I'll give you some discipline that how can you have that discipline, and how can you jump into those environment of being wellness and being positive and being cope with the emotion and being good mental health, and also about spiritual. So the first thing that you have to change your attitude, like Dr. Terdsak said, the attitude is very important. How you link and how you make it connection. Attitude of what? First thing, you have to ask yourself, do you really want to get out from that stress? Do you really want to have a happy life? Brave to get out from there. Change your attitude. So you really want to change yourself. Create yourself in a positive way. Don't judge anyone. The second thing is eating habit. Sometimes when you come home, many academic, I believe many PhD students, you sit up there 6, 7 o'clock at night, and then you maybe sleep daytime because you cannot think of anything at daytime. PhD life so dreadful. Eating habit is most important thing. Usually I don't eat after 6 or 7, or maybe you do IF, 19 and 5. So that is the best thing. IF is actually help you look younger. So eat when you're hungry. When you're not hungry, please don't put the thing in your mouth. Just slowly change, So I did not expect you to be changed immediately. Another thing that you said, oh, I don't have time, I have to work, and I will finish that. Okay, meal is sleep later. You know what? The most important thing, when the time up, you have to leave, you have to drop. You have to be able to do that. Skip the meal. Not good for you. You know why? Because your brain need it, your body need it. And then you skip the meal, and then you do all the work. And after that, you feel that you fatigue, and then you just go sleep, and then you feel unhappy. You don't happy with work because your body is not happy. Never ever skip the meal. Number 4, don't eat before bedtime. And this is, some people might say, oh, I don't have time. About 10 o'clock, I just about to sleep, and let's go to eat. For example, in Thailand, we have street food, so 24 hours people go, but nowadays maybe less food. Basically eat before bedtime, and the body doesn't use that. You feel even tired, you feel even more. And I know sometimes it's hard, but we try to do that. Another
Okay,
thing that's the
Prof.
most
N,
important.
Prof. N, I got to Prof. N, I got to interrupt you a little bit. We are running a little bit short of time.
Okay.
Do you think you can just
I will conclude.
share the key most important thing, like eat more? That's the most important thing, yeah? You really fine. Thank you so much.
Right. Yeah, I will summarize for each one of them. The regular exercise that I told you, so, and knowledge about exercise. This is important thing. Don't see other people doing that, and then you want to join, and then you just jump in, otherwise you injure yourself. 3 more, I finished. Prepare yourself, wherever you go. I always have my gear with me whenever you traveling around, and then you are ready to do your exercise, or you jump into the wellness environment. So inspire yourself with something that you love, so you maybe, like I said, set your goal, and then you set something that you want to be, and you like to be, and inspire yourself with the positive thinking. And the last thing, this is important, use law of attraction. You are in the environment of encourage you to be healthy. When you have emotion, when you have a stress, you should be with the same person that think the same thing, holding hand and go into the right way. It doesn't mean that you go with the negative people, you can't get better. So this is my discipline. And the end of my presentation is, I always keep saying that sound mind, sound body. You cannot have a sound mind unless you have a sound body. You have to look after yourself. So may I end my presentation today? Sorry, I a little bit over the time. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Tan.
Thank you so much, Prof. N. And I'm so sorry got to cut you off. I think Prof. N has really shared really good information with us, especially the final 10 disciplines. All right, so I think before we go off, I think it is only nice that we answer some of the questions. Okay, so what I would like to do is we have a lot of questions that's been submitted. Thank you so much, but unfortunately due to time constraint, we may not be able to answer all of them. But let me pick out one very interesting question that was being asked, and I would like to invite Dr. Terdsak to actually answer that question. So the question is this: how should I balance between emotional stress and occupational stress? And I think this is a very relevant question because right now we are going through a lot of emotional roller coaster, and also we have to do our work as well. So, Dr. Terdsak, what is your perspective?
Okay, very interesting and sometimes hard to do, but still need to do. I think that I will answer by two issue. The first one is the importance of using the lens to see things as an exciting more than stress. Sometimes we call see things exciting instead of suffering. It means that sometimes we use the word reframing. Reframing means that if you have some stressful event or emotional stress, I think that this event may have some benefit to you. And if you decide that this thing you have to face with, you have to learn to face with them. So you have to look for progression, look for some benefit or something good that add up into this problem. I myself call this situation combo set. Combo set means that each event have both good thing that you want to have and bad thing that you don't have to get, but it come together every time. So what you have to do is accept the bad thing and get the good thing and look forward. The second issue is accept the bad thing because bad is bad. We cannot change bad thing into good thing directly. So just accept it. This is maybe a failure, or maybe you get some not a good word or blame from your husband, your teacher, your parent. This is a good thing, but you have to set up some activity that change this event into some benefit. For example, you decide to do next activity that bring you in a good health or good mood after that. This is some possible way to deal with this hard to deal with emotional problem.
Thank you, Dr. Terdsak, for your reply. I have another question here, which I would like Prof. N to answer. So this question goes like that. It says that my undergraduate student reports a general loss of motivation which I take as negative emotional content. I'm afraid for their mental health, as the online learning is expected to continue at least until the end of the year. Is there any online exercise, which I think you will be the best person to answer, right? Is there any online exercise that I can give my students to boost their study motivation?
Thank you very much. I think it's a very good question, and I think I have that experience as well. So now I teach a student, international student from different country, and also in Thailand as well. One thing, what I did was, I know it's a lot of content is boring, and as you can see my slides, I put a lot of picture, and I make them to see something that, rather than the text, and then you're sitting there and read for them. The first thing is make slides to be more interested, even though you teach some other subject, but I wasn't sure, but in my subject is in tourism, and I teach about health wellness strategy. So I try to use a lot of interesting picture, but I have the content teach them. The second thing, I ask them question to participate. I throw the question. I said, well, last semester it worked. I said, if anyone answer my question, I give you 1 mark. Basically, I get about more than 50% to join and jump in because they want to get the mark. And at the end of the day, so you motivate them that way. But basically, I think when you talk to them, maybe you pretend like you are in the class and make the slides. The most important thing is will be your tools to communicate with your student. If the equipment is not interested for them, they will sitting there and play with their dog or the cat or something like that. Yeah, I think this is my experience, and then it's worked for me. I hope it's helped. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. N, for the sharing. And I think that today's session is definitely very fulfilling because we get to hear perspective from a medical doctor as well as from a research practitioner as well. So given the time that we have, I'm afraid we have to call the session to a close. And on behalf of the presenters as well as the organizing committee, thank you so much, every one of you, for spending close to 2 hours with us. And let us take care of our mental health. I think the pandemic is here. We hope that it will go away, but the different variants are happening and it's definitely giving us a lot of inconveniences. But let's stay positive, do some exercises, and have a very open attitude towards it. And I will believe that there will be a day that we will meet all together in a physical place, and maybe Prof. N will be able to lead us in some exercise itself. All right. So thank you all, and wherever you are, have a lovely evening, and I will see all of you again. Thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Thank you. We keep in touch. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Chen. Thank you, อาจารย์หมอ ขอบพระคุณค่ะ อาจารย์
Thank you ครับ
Thank you so much to Dr. Terdsak, Prof. N, and also Dr. Tan.
Thanks,
Thank you so much for
William.
wonderful sessions. Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Next session will be showing the yoga, okay?
Yoga.
And William will be my front class yoga
class. If you were to arrange that, I'm very sure you're gonna have a lot of followers.
Yeah, we will conduct that before we study about the academic paper writing or something. All right.
Oh, that will be good.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for our audience.
So much. Thank you.
We've been very great. Hopefully we can continue some other time with the well-being and then academic life and well-being. Thank you guys for supporting. Thank you, team. William, Lenny, Dr. Tan, thank you. Okay.
Right.
Bye.
Thank you so much. All right. With that, I thank you all the people that are joining.
This is my story one, William.
What's that? No. With that, I will be ending today's session. Thank you and good night, everybody. Okay, let's say bye-bye. Yes, bye-bye.